Hey y'all, welcome back to Key is King. If you are joining me for the first time, I should say welcome. If you're coming back, I'm glad you're back. Today we will be steering away from the housewives, which is usually my go-to. They'll always be my number one girls. But today we are doing a little something different. We are talking about the Traitors, which, as a reality TV fanatic, as somebody who created this channel for this type of shit, I'm excited. I love the Traitors. I have become a Traitors obsessed human, meaning I watch the international seasons. There's UK, Australia, I think New Zealand. Now mind you, I'm not caught up internationally, but I'm very caught up stateside, and this season is chef's kiss so far. I was thinking about how I wanted to do this video just because Traitors, every time a new season premieres, at least over here in the Americas, well, I guess it's just America. Anyway, they drop 3 episodes at a time, and now they have dropped an additional episode, so we are at 4 so far. And instead of trying to rack my brain and rewatch, although I did rewatch all 4 episodes before making this video, I'm just going to go through the cast, and I will just associate we'll call them iconic moments for now, but I'm just going to associate the moments that have happened so far with the person. So if you've done something entertaining, if you've done something noteworthy, you'll be mentioned. If not, I guess you should have been murdered if you haven't been already. So that's how we're going to do this video, and then as the episodes progress, I'll just kind of share my 2 cents that nobody asked for about the episodes. But without further ado, let's get into the cast. I'll go in the order that the Googler Schmoogler pulled up these people. And the first person, I guess alphabetically, is Bob Harper, aka Bob from The Biggest Loser. Let's see, let's think about Bob. I like Bob. Bob seems very cool. I don't know if he had all those fucking tattoos on The Biggest Loser, but he's definitely had like a midlife gay crisis that has led him to Team Tatted, and love that for him. He seems really cool. I love that he's always like on the other men's ass about being like punks. Like he and Bob the Drag Queen, which we'll be getting to next, they're just so funny how they're like, and as a gay man I understand this perspective of like always trying to yell at a straight man to like be chivalrous or do something just like nice. Not that all, I'm not even gonna defend that statement. You get what I'm saying. And if you don't, I don't know, Google it, I don't know. But Bob just cracks me up because he's always like, he got into a fight with Tony, which led to Tony's murder and or banishment. And he's just always being like, why aren't you doing it first? Like, I don't know, I love his aura, I love his attitude. But Bob is funny, he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's a faithful that's just, he's like the rest of them, he doesn't have a fucking clue. But I like Bob. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, I can appreciate his story about having a heart attack or a stroke, whatever ailment he had that caused him to kind of physically not be well anymore. During the challenge in one of the latest episodes, he was kind of revealing how that happened to him, and he had a very small chance of surviving that. So the fact that he survived it, the fact that he's on Traitors, like, props to you, Bob. Props to you. If you don't know nothing else, at least you know that you are tough and that you are having fun in this game. So that's Bob in a nutshell. Bob the Drag Queen. First things first, spoiler alert, I guess I should have started this video with that. I love Bob the Drag Queen. Like, I don't know if I'll put a little picture of us here somewhere, but like, I met Bob the Drag Queen late last year at one of his shows. Like, I'm obsessed. The representation, I feel like me and Bob have a lot in common. I feel like if I were to become a drag queen, which I want to do drag at some point, please conservatives don't shut me down. I want to do drag at one point, but Bob, I just feel like he's one of those people, for obvious reasons, I look at him and I'm just like, wow, I see myself in Bob. That's just my boy. Love Bob, love Bob. With that being said, Bob played the game, I feel like, just exactly the way Bob is in life. And like, that's fun, cool, and great, but like, he didn't do himself any favors. That's why he got fucking voted out. But iconic nonetheless. Like, I lived for every moment. He knew he wanted to be messy, and he was that. He's loud, he's in your face, he's straight to the point, but like, I wish he would have lasted longer, fucking Boston Rob. But Bob honestly did it to himself, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, he was himself, which I love Bob as he is. He's a great person. If y'all don't know anything about Bob the Drag Queen, please look him up. Please look him up. But I wish he would have just edited a little bit for the game. Just for the game. But I loved Bob. I really thought his chaotic time in the house was great. And I don't really have anything else to say that's like that because I just love Bob. And if you disagree, you have that taste. Sorry. Next up is Brittany, I think. Let's see. Yep. Brittany, because I know the alphabet. Brittany is cool. If I was Danielle, I would have really maybe taken the opportunity to like vote her out at that handshake in the beginning. But Brittany's not really doing anything. Brittany on Big Brother was pretty good. I used to be a real Big Brother fan, and I used to fuck with Brittany a little bit. She had some good moments, but not really making a stamp on my mind. So I guess she gets the next bus. Carolyn. Carolyn seems wild as shit. I knew nothing about her. I heard some things about her via some friends that were really into Survivor, or are really into Survivor, I should say. She gives me the energy that like if I were to wear a purse, I would hold it tighter when she was around. But with all that being said, especially now that Bob is gone, I feel like that is our winner. Like, I feel like she's going to win. She's playing, I think, one of the better games. I think her natural kooky personality, if you want to call it. She seems batshit crazy as everybody that looks at this woman just looks at her with like pity, concern, and fear. Like everybody's always just like, So I think she could really easily win. I really do. I think she's the best traitor out of everybody. And she has my love and support at this point because Bob is gone now. Although she wasn't even really, I feel like, fucking with Bob that much. But with that being said, I didn't think Bob was playing the greatest game, so. But I really like Carolyn. Carolyn, I think it's Carolyn. I should learn her name if I like her so much. She's really good. She's really good. She does look like Kim Zolciak alt version. Like, if you know who Kim Zolciak is, if you don't, I suggest looking her up and then looking at Carolyn and telling me I'm not telling the truth. Is there anything else about her? I don't know. I just have my eye on her. I think she's really going to be a major, if not a major player in this game, she's going to be the winner. So yeah, that is Carolyn. Moving on to Chanel Ayan. Love Ayan. I'm not mad that she was murdered, per se, just because that is the game and it caused a lot of chaos. But she is fucking hilarious. She had no idea. You want to talk about no idea what's happening? She had not a clue where she was or what was going on. And I lived for that. I wish I could have gotten like as many episodes as the season offered of her just being confused. It would have been really good TV. But I understand why she got murdered too. Chanel, yes, I love Ayan. The Real Housewives of Dubai, for those of you that are tuned into that world, is like not coming back. They're on pause. So it would have been nice to have her on TV for just a few more weeks, seeing as not her real job, but her like TV job got canceled. So sorry, Ayan. But her beef afterwards with Bob, which I think might be a little inflated and fake or kind of cooled down by this point, but the way she was going off in the little after show, which they need to just start putting after the episode on Peacock so I don't have to go somewhere else to watch it, because I haven't yet. I just know this through internet clips. She's funny as fuck. Like, I really would have enjoyed just seeing her. Just more. Next is Chrishell, and I don't really have much to say about Chrishell. In the first episode, they had that opportunity to shake Alan's hand and get rid of somebody to like bring Rob in. I would have been the person to step up and I would have gotten rid of her. I know the least about her. She seems to know nothing about the game so far. The one thing I will give her, and if I would have had like the foresight or like the psychic vision to know this, the way she read Tom Sandoval in the first episode, she gets a couple episode pass for me just for that. But yeah, I don't really know anything about her. I didn't watch her show. She's not giving much. She's not doing anything really noteworthy, so I would have shaken that hand to get rid of her, but we would not have gotten that moment with Tom Sandoval, which was kind of worth it, because she called him a piece of shit, because, yep, if you know anything about Scandoval, then it says it all. Next we have Sierra, who is growing on me like a I don't know, like what grows on you? I guess it's a boil. Either way, I'm starting to really like this girl. She swears a fucking lot, and that's my type of person. Which, let's start there, because everyone was trying to tell her that because she swears, she's guilty. Last time I did the research, last time I knew, swearing a lot typically led to a more honest person, because they don't care to filter themselves. And if that's not the case, that's what I'm going to continue to tell myself, because like I said, I like to fucking swear. Um, so I like Sierra. She wasn't really doing anything for me prior to this like last episode. The swearing caught my attention. The attitude made me stay. She just doesn't seem to really like go for much of anything. She's not here for the bullshit, and I like that. She was cracking me up. I don't watch her show either, so I didn't really know much about her. But if she continues with a little fire lit under her after being in that coffin, I can get behind a Sierra movement. And after Sierra, we have Girl Interrupted of the cast, in my opinion, which is Danielle. One of our traitors, but she seems legitimately crazy. To me, something is not right. From the second she came on the show and was like crying in the parking lot with Brittany, and then like, just from day one, I was like, is she well? She seems unwell. I'm concerned for her. Like, I'm concerned that she's going to make it through this in one piece. Like, I know they don't sleep in that castle for real, at least allegedly. I would lock my door if I was near her. I'd be like, I don't want her to come in here and actually think she's in a murder show and she actually has to kill somebody. She gives me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Just like a little bit. Like I said, my code for humans like that are Girl Interrupted. Sometimes I'll change it depending, but usually I just stick to girl. That is Girl Interrupted. And if you're not familiar with that movie, once again, get on the Googler and the Schmoogler, and you'll understand. Danielle, I think she's going to get caught, first of all. The whole bookcase thing, so close. But in a game like Traitors, it's so hard to convince people, I guess. And we'll get to, I think her name is Gabby, who was waiting outside the bookshelf, but we'll get to her soon. But Danielle really doesn't do much for me. She seems like she's legitimately... I'm trying to be nice. She seems like she needs a hug and a little therapy. And I'll leave it there. That's what I unofficially diagnose the world with needing sometimes. Like, you just need a hug and some therapy. Like, that'll fix that right on up. How could I forget? Next is Dolores, aka Black Dolores, aka Real Housewives. I won't call her royalty, although she might be considered by some. I just love that Dolores is here. And the moment that comes to mind immediately when speaking of Dolores in this context is when her and Dorinda were on that goddamn dock, and they were just had the revelation that they made themselves targets. Right out the gate, I was cackling. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with Dolores, she is a former police officer, corrections officer. I think she mentioned it on the show. Her dad was a former, like, chief of police. So you would think Dolores is, like, very smart and, like, keen to things, which I guess she can be, but Dolores also plays a little, like, dodo sometimes for me. She plays Switzerland a lot on her franchise in New Jersey, so let's hope she's, like, activated and, like, locked into the game. Because right now she's not doing much. Like, she was agreeing with Dylan, I believe his name is, when he was, like, going after Bob. But I just don't want her to be, like, fucking agreeable the whole time. Like, I want her to, like, play the game. Especially because people think that housewives are traitors. Although people seem to, like, trust Dolores. I don't know. I need more from Dolores. I really do. I just want her to be, like, I don't know. But I must say, seeing Dolores on TV is not bad. And if you are confused by the Black Dolores reference that I started off her little spiel with, you can thank Wendy Williams for that, and also research that, because Wendy Williams started the whole Black Dolores thing. Because Dolores is like a racial shapeshifter, if you watch Housewives. She'd be looking all types of nationalities, which I live. I live for that. I live. And speaking of Wendy Williams, who is not related at all to this show or this review, her interview that she did with The Breakfast Club recently had some concerning moments in it, and maybe I'll do an episode of Ooh Girl about it. But shout out to Wendy. I hope she like comes back in some capacity because I miss her. And her legacy lives on through Black Dolores in this review. So shout out to you, Wendy. Dorinda, another housewife. Dorinda, I think you can consider a legend. She is a bit of an alcoholic, a bit of a slurrer, but that is what we're missing out on. Some of the best alcoholic reality star television probably ever. I just, like, there's so many quotes from Dorinda from Housewives. She would have been amazing, and she didn't know shit, which would have made her even better. She was confused. Her little after post-mortem video, whatever they call it, she had no idea who the traitors were. She said she would have taken them to the end, and I'm sad for that reason. I think Dorinda would have been iconic on this show. Iconic. Ooh, I'm like actually sad about Dorinda. I know a lot of people on Twitter are like hating on Bob. A lot of like, it's amazing how quick the racism jumps out of the American public when things don't go well on television shows. And I'm talking about sometimes even television shows that are fucking fake. It's amazing when you go on social media and like, especially a place like Twitter, the racism that lives within this like country is not, it's not funny. It's not funny. But how quickly it appears just makes me giggle because some of y'all cannot wait sometimes. And I hope no racist is watching this video because you found the wrong content creator. But Dorinda would have been great TV. I'm sad she was murdered, but once again, I understand why she was murdered because for a group of people that are trying to figure something out so desperately, it really didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense. But moving on to making some sense, we'll go to Dylan. Now, I don't know where this man has been hiding, and I will literally, if I've been in the way of putting a picture, I'm going to move over for the picture I'm going to put of this man, because who is he and where has he been? Like, I know who he is, but like, he's like the faithful. If it hasn't been obvious, every season has like the faithful. He is the faithful. He's pretty fucking good. He got Bob really good. But I just want to know, like, was he at all famous before this? Like, did he do anything? I guess I'll have to Google schmoogle my fucking self. But he's the faithful. He's like the guy. Will they get rid of him? I don't really think so. But that'd be good. Rob obviously wants to take him to the end and then stab him in the back. But I think Dylan might be smarter than that. I'm trying to think in any of the seasons I've watched, have all the traitors been gotten? I will never remember in this moment because pressurized thinking just doesn't work for me, personally. But that would be a gag if he got all of them. But I like Dylan, I like his vibes, and the picture that I showed and probably I at this point would put over my face, gets a vote for the faithfuls for me. So, check. Let's see, Gabby is next. And I like Gabby. Gabby sounds and talks like she does not have a brain, or at least it's not connected like to the rest of her body, but she's smart. And I like that. The bookshelf thing with Danielle, I wish she would have like pushed it more, but I don't think she's really done with that yet. But talk about a gag. I was gooped and gagged. I was like holding my breath and they left it on a cliffhanger. I could have held my breath for a week. I was like, oh my God. But I like Gabby. I don't know, something about like a Valley girl sometimes feels underdogish, but I just love her like affect. I love the way she talks. I just love her vibe. She's another one I knew nothing about. I don't watch The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, The Retired Bachelor. I don't watch any of that. But I could get behind Gabby. She seems cool. She seems fun. She's part of the Bambis, which is a cute little clique name. And I think I have some like good feelings about Gabby. Hopefully she doesn't get got. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, whatever. Hopefully they don't get her. But if they do get her, I've enjoyed her so far. So, wishing good things for Gabby. Next is Jeremy, and I really love Jeremy. Like, I watched Jeremy on Survivor when I was super into Survivor. And Jeremy always was great TV for me. He was smart, strong. He did really well. I don't know if I guess I'm not that big of a fan because I don't know if he actually ever won. I know he talked about how Tony screwed him over before. So he didn't win that season, obviously. But I love Jeremy. Jeremy makes me smile when I see him. He just seems like a genuine, real person. He made a great faithful for that reason. And I'm just mad that they murdered Jeremy. Like, I don't know. Jeremy's another one. I look at him and I just see representation. I see somebody I can relate to. And it's always nice to see him and stuff. Although I'm trying to think, did he do anything outside of Survivor? Once again, pressurized thinking. I've already told you it's not my thing. Jeremy was good. He clearly knew about Danielle, and she had to interrupt that. Go figure. And I'm trying to think, was there anything? He didn't really get a chance to really cook yet. Like, they really kind of cut him off at the pass, which is unfortunate, but it makes sense because he would have gotten them and he would have had influence over other people in that house. So it really was a good decision to get Jeremy. Just unfortunate that he had to go so early. But I love Jeremy. Hope Jeremy finds some other way to give his family some money because he definitely deserves it. Moving on from Jeremy. Also, if I say one more time, which I probably will, just for the record, I need to like work that out. I don't really say that much in like real life, I don't think. Anyway, Lord Ivar. Another one I didn't really even know anything about. I guess he's the diversity hire for this season. It's not doing much for me. He had a fight with Dorinda, so people think he's a traitor. Yeah, no. And I love British people. Like, my Siri is British, so I love British things. But he's not checking any boxes for me. He's not really doing it. He's the lord of, like, invisibility right now. Nikki, aka Nikki Bella. Nikki, look, didn't I just say I was going to say 18 more times? Almost did it again. Nikki's not doing anything for me. She's in the Bambi gang too. She was in a coffin. Okay. She swears there's going to be no more nice Nikki. Okay. I don't know how strong she is without her twin, which I'm sure as a twin would fucking hate to hear those words, but I just don't, Nikki's not giving me anything yet. But like I said, it's very early and these people might just need some time to cook. Similar to Sierra, she might just need a little fire under her ass. So I'm going to give Nikki an opportunity just to like prove me wrong. But Nikki's not really doing anything for me. Although, now that I talk shit out loud for long enough, I realized that she was the one that's taking the torch of Jeremy being suspicious of Danielle. And now if she taps into that, and if she's able to convince the Bambis, which now that I'm saying more out loud, Nikki has potential to cook. Nikki and Gabby. Over at this page, I have a little crystal ball. When I pull my crystal ball, I'm rarely wrong. And I'm a reality TV guru. Like, TV was my first friend, for real, as an only child. So, like, I love reality TV. I can see the writing on that wall. If Danielle does not become privy and the Bambis keep their shit quiet enough, they could get her. That girl would really be interrupted. Okay, so I talked a lot of shit about Nikki up front, but true to form, I was a wrestling kid growing up, meaning I loved wrestling. I mean, I did, like, amateur wrestle for a good, like, year of my life. I peaked at the 2nd grade when I broke my ankle, but, like, I loved WWE, the artist formerly known as WWF. So, for that reason, I'll hold a candle out for Nikki that she gets a little smarter and better and sinks her teeth into the Danielle thing. But after Nikki, we move on to Rob. Boston Rob. He parks his car. Boston Rob is a legend. Let's say that. Because we give credit where credit's due on this page. Yes, we do. Boston Rob is a legend. I was very excited for him to be here. But I don't know how to feel about Boston Rob. And to me, he'd be an obvious traitor. Like, I need to get my way onto one of these TV shows because I would win whatever show you put me on, first of all. B, and second of all, I would be the one to be like, of course Rob is a fucking traitor. Like, how do people not see this? But, I mean, it's early. I don't know what these people are thinking. But Bob, I'm thinking about Bob because I want to avenge him. Rob would not stand a chance. I would not trust him from 8 miles away. I don't know. But he's coming in as a traitor, which is to be expected. And he is the first traitor to eat another traitor. And so we will see how that goes for him. It typically does not go well for traitors that eat their own. That damn Boston Rob. He's a good player though. I watched Deal or No Deal Island as well, and I wanted him to win that shit, but that didn't happen for my guy either. But he's one of those people. Between like him, Wes, Phaedra, who was on last season, there are some people that are just circulating TV right now, and he's definitely one of those people. So I'm interested to see his trajectory in all of this, but I don't know what it'll be like for Rob. I really don't know. It's a mixed bag. I think Carolyn, though, is going to him. I think she's going to be the one, and I'm here for it. Very here for it. Rob the Throb Dixon. Oh, Robin. Robin is a housewife, which is in my wheelhouse, as if you don't know, now you know. And Robin is on Potomac. She was actually just fired from Potomac and now got herself a new gig on the Traitors. The interesting thing about Robin is that I cannot stand her on Housewives, and I love her on the Traitors. It's just so strange for me to even be like going up for Robin, because on the Housewives she is nothing to root for. And honestly, she's kind of proving the similarities in Housewives in here. This is why I love this melting pot of reality shows and reality stars, because like the background knowledge of some of these people and then in the context they're in just like tickles that part of my brain. But Robin is a faithful in this show, and she is almost as delusional as she is in Housewives. To give you a little backstory on Robin, for those of you that don't know, she mentioned a friend in the show that she trusted with all her money, her life savings. He literally took them all, spent all her and her husband and her family's money, and then killed himself, which is a tragic situation, but speaks to Robin's, Lord knows it's not funny, but I have such an inappropriate sense of humor, my God. It just speaks to her ability to trust, see, and know what's in front of her, paired with the fact that she notoriously is remarried. Listen, follow me on this journey. Was married to this man, Juan Dixon, who was fine as all hell, formerly in the NBA. Was married to Juan. They were like high school sweethearts, whatever. He cheated on her just a billion times. They got divorced. She got remarried to him in the middle of another cheating scandal. So Robin wouldn't know a traitor if it literally fucked her. And excuse my bluntness and my vulgarity. Get used to it if this is your first time here. So I don't really have much faith for Robin, but with all of that being said, I love her on this show. I feel like she is bringing it. She's not afraid to engage. She's really using her housewife experience. Yeah, I hope she goes far, but I just enjoy seeing Robin in this context. I don't want to see her back on Housewives of Potomac. I know if you watch my Potomac video in the last one, I was considering that. But I'd rather have Robin on Traitors every season for the rest of life than have her back on Potomac. And that is Robin. Glad you're here, girl. Moving on to Sam. I guess he was married to Britney Spears for a minute. I wonder if that's when she was spinning in bikinis in her living room, I think it is. I don't have much to say about Sam. On the internet, I saw or was reading one time that they had like a little transition scene or like a B-roll scene of him in the shower. I missed it. You know, a B-roll scene I didn't miss of fucking Dylan Efron in the mirror apparently getting out of the shower. He's cute. He's vanilla, baby, but he's cute. He's cute. I'll give it to him. Sam's not doing anything for me. I think the funniest thing that Sam did was talk about his headband, and he was like, it's Britney's, and they were like, which Britney? That was funny. But yeah, he's not a right home about type of player in this game either. Moving on to somebody who is, to me, Tom Sandoval and his pit stains. That was one of the first iconic things, I guess. Iconic and Tom mixed together, whatever. One of the first iconic things that Tom did, and he didn't even really do it, his pit stains became like meme-worthy almost. That was fucking funny. And I just love that he's getting the town, or like the village idiot edit in this show. I feel like they play like that music every time Tom is thinking or doing or walking or breathing. I do believe that man is a narcissist, evidenced by the scandal of it all. So I just hope they keep playing with him every chance they get. He works well as the village idiot. He has hypotheses that just he pulled out of his scandal ass. He's a bit of the comedic relief, and not because he's in on the joke, because he is the joke. So, love that. And last but not least, I believe, is Tony. May he rest in peace in the traitor land. One of the first things I laugh about Tony and rewatching these episodes is that he, Freudian slipped, lied on himself, talking about he likes to lie for fun, and then tried to be like, not in my real life, I don't want problems when I get home. You already told on yourself, and whatever woman is waiting for you back at home has already probably fucked you up. And thought about every way they're gonna fuck you up since that shit aired. So that's one of the most noteworthy things about Tony. I would have thought he was a traitor because he was like a traitor in Survivor. But he didn't really do anything for me. He was playing a very tight game, a very like watch out for myself game, which like you should, but I think that didn't do him any justice in the end. If that was the cast, Sorry to this man. Both myself and Google forgot all about him. He literally was not listed in the cast photo list that I was looking at. But Wells was semi on to something, but just didn't have the smarts or finesse really to last. Another one I didn't know much about, so I wasn't really sad to see him go, but bye-bye. Rest in peace. That was really everything that has kind of happened that's noteworthy. Like I said, episode to episode I might get into more detail about the challenges or whatnot, but for this first video, I figured let's just say what we feel about the cast and how they've been doing. And like I said, if you had an iconic moment or something happened that was noteworthy, it probably would have been talked about in this video. But once again, for those of you that are new here, I hope you enjoyed the video. For those of you returning, please continue to come back. As always, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you back for more, because there will be coming.